I'm so excited. Okay, friends, so I'm just gonna start a little bit early. We're only about a minute early. That's okay. So, for today, we have a creepy Kandinsky tree. So Kandinsky was an artist. Dylan, if you wanna throw up some fun facts about him in the chat, that'd be awesome, because I fully forgot to look into that, honestly. Bad artist. Don't go by my example, guys. Okay. So for today's, it's fairly simple for the most part. Your tree can be however your tree you want it to be. But for this piece, we need paper, a pencil to draw it out, drawing pens. You're gonna want the drawing pens to be able to do the watercolors on top. If you have a Sharpie, use a Sharpie. Either is perfectly fine. I'm not sure about the bleeding of Sharpies, but it's up to you. First, we are going to use our paper. So I'm using a bit of a fancier type of paper today, just because I have a hard time with some of the paper that I use for watercolors because it's too thin. I'm super picky with this, so I have like a nice multimedia, really thick paper notebook here. So first thing I'm going to do, I am going to give my drawing this border again. So I'm going to draw out that border, try to get even blocks in the middle, and then draw my tree. So all of this will be done with a pen and the ruler. I could not find my normal ruler that I've been using, so I am just using this weird ruler, because this is all I got. So we're just going to guesstimate on our lines here. So I don't really need anything too perfect, nothing too straightforward. I'm just drawing out my lines for my edge. And hope you guys are having a good day. Can't wait to see who else logs on. Feel free, guys, to write some questions. Ask Dylan to write anything. He is moderating today. But yeah, so super excited for this one. All you need is paper, watercolors, drawing pen, and a pencil. I love fall, guys. I'm so excited. When we had last week, when we had those couple kind of cool days, oh my goodness, I was super, super happy. Like, I love all the fall clothes and wearing boots and all of that. I'm so excited. So I'm just guessing over here on my border. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out there. I'm not really making it absolutely even. I don't really care if it is or if it isn't. Just drawing it out. Okay. So I've got my border in there. Erase some of this extra pencil. Let's see. So Dylan posted that he painted the world's first abstract painting. Wow, that's pretty cool. So the piece today, I'm using somewhat of like Kandinsky type of technique with the background part of our tree here. So Kandinsky was an artist, and Dylan said that painted the world's first abstract painting. So that's pretty cool. I did not know that. Thank you for the fun fact, Dylan. Okay, so I've got my border. Next, I'm gonna sort of use the ruler part of my ruler here and figure out 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11. Doing math, guys, sorry. Do about, let's see. Wow, so I pretty much guessed really well with this border. So I'm just going to use my lines this way because I know my lines are already, what I need. So I'm just going to cheat. So for me, the block sizes are about 2 1/4, somewhere around there. That's what the squares are for the background. Alrighty, awesome. Okay guys, so I've got some lines down here. I just cheated and used my pre-drawing already to get where my lines would need to be for the piece that we're doing right now. I didn't feel like having to do the math there. But let's face it, I'm an art major. Art and math, for me at least, is not very good. But I know I could do it if I need to, just definitely better with the calculator, that's for sure. Okay. Finishing with getting all my squares. So this probably won't look absolutely perfect just because I didn't use a ruler with actual measurements for the squares, but you know what, that's okay. We're gonna go ahead. So now that we have all these squares in here, we're gonna do circles. So these circles, they don't have to fit the square perfectly. I just want to get a decent circle in there. I'm not going for absolutely perfect circles. I want them to be a little wonky. And that's okay. Remember, part of these we're going to cover up with branches and all of that. So we've got my circles in, which is great. So circles are in. Next is our tree. So the tree is supposed to be a creepy tree. The best way I know how to describe this to make a creepy tree is, especially when you get to your branches, you want them to have a lot of angles. So you see how you can clearly see, like, this is a little part here, and here, just in this branch alone, how it's like zigzagged almost the entire way out. That's what you're going for, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is draw out our tree, and then we'll go with our pens, because this way we won't have to wait for watercolors to dry. We can just use our pens, do everything that has to be in ink first, and then we'll go back in again after that with the watercolors, okay? So the longest thing for me, what I found, was coloring in the tree and doing the watercolors, mostly to figure out, like, not to get, like, impeding colors and not having, like, purple right next to purple. That was my hardest part, but, like, after a while you're kind of just like, I have no other color to use. But that's okay. We're just gonna make this fun, guys. We are going to do this already. So just working on my tree. I like to start off at the bottom and then work my way up. So I'm gonna just roughly do the same thing that I've already got done on my little pre-done piece. I'm gonna bring this trunk in just a little bit. Making that just a little bit too much than I wanted to. Alright, so I'm just giving my tree trunk a lot of angles and trying to get it to be as creepy as I possibly can. Okay, so I've got some tree trunks. So I'm not gonna fully draw in all the branches. I will make up a lot of the little ones while I'm coloring in because honestly it's too hard. It really is. It's too hard to figure out where to put branches and exactly how you want the tree, because it honestly it looks a bit better when it's a bit more organic almost. That's the word I am going to use. So let's see here. I'm going to do a branch here. So I've got a branch sticking out here. I did my tree trunk, correct? I like to make it look like if the tree trunk kind of goes up to one point and then you've got branches that come off from there. Right. And let's just keep going. So I'm going to draw out my branches over here. And then we've got branches on this side. Okay. So I've got a relatively looking creepy tree. It might be a little hard to see on the computer, but that is okay. So from here I'm going to just start going through in some areas and drawing in some smaller branches because that's where I want them. So it's not that you don't have to draw in your smaller branches, guys, beforehand. It's more just what you prefer to draw out. I like to get all my main branches in there first and then draw in my smaller branches. When I'm coloring in the tree, you'll notice I will start drawing in branches that I didn't originally draw, but that's just to help take up space and make our tree look even creepier, which is the goal, right? Stick that one up there. Let's see. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep adding some small branches. I'm definitely drawing these a little thicker than I did in the pre-piece, but that is okay. We're gonna make this work. Thank goodness for erasers, because sometimes we mess up. Even if you've been doing this for a while, guys, you still mess up. So always use an eraser. Don't be afraid to use the eraser. It is there for a reason. Right. That one. Bigger one there. And then let's do that is good for our creepy tree. So first things first, I'm just going to use these ones for right now. I'm going to use my B and my M. I'm going to pull out my ruler again. So this is just for, and let's do that. I'm going to do the lines for the blocks first. Lines for blocks first. I'm just going to use the ruler. And I'm just going to go right through the tree because it doesn't matter, the tree's going to get colored in black anyways with the pen. I'm going to extend over to my little decorative edge here of my paper because I want that part to be in black. hopefully I don't get my head in the video, because I did last week and I realized that after when I watched it, when it was posted on Facebook, that I kept doing that. So I'm sorry if you're watching then, guys. Alright, let's see. So, tell me guys, if you are watching, post what your Halloween costume is going to be. So this year, unfortunately, which is really weird for me, I will not be dressing up for Halloween this year. I have a twin sister, if any of you guys knew that or didn't know that. I have a twin sister, and she's having a baby shower on Halloween. And then as soon as her baby shower is over, we, my family, are just gonna drive, and I think we're gonna go to Disney, so that'll be kind of fun. Have to wear a mask the entire time, but no different than every other day, I guess. But we figured might as well do something different this year if we could, and we can. Sometimes you can't, and that's okay. Sometimes life happens. But maybe we could do some Mickey ears or something. I don't know. I tend to make my costumes, so maybe I can make some Mickey ears. Not quite the one I liked. There we go. Okay. So, over. So all of my grid and whatnot is in. Now I'm just going to take my pen and I'm going to go around my tree, and I'm going to outline my tree as best I can. I am making it look a little bit more angular than probably what I drew it as, just to give it a bit more of a creepy look. Let's see what else did Dylan write. Dylan wrote another quote. He goes, he was an inspiring musician and mostly painted scenes from his country state life. He was studying to be a lawyer and was also a designer and a photographer before he started painting. Oh, that is pretty cool. So Dylan is writing some neat facts about Kandinsky. That is the artist that has inspired my Facebook live piece for today. So that's kind of cool. I was a bad artist and didn't look up any facts beforehand. So lead by Dylan, guys. Don't lead by me. So this is kind of cool, guys. So I got a dog, kind of. We're going to be holding on to her for 9 months, maybe more, maybe less. We don't know yet. Unfortunately, we're going to have to give her back. It's my sister's dog. We're super excited to have her. She's very cute. She's just basically like a very large lap dog. She thinks she's still a puppy, but she's super cute. She's like a 70-pound German Shepherd and just loves being around people, loves the belly rubs, and she's just a really good dog. We're super excited to have her here. Do any of you guys, so I was curious, anyone dress up their animals if they have pets? Does anyone dress up their pets for Halloween? We have a cousin that she has 2 dogs. Her and her husband, they dress their dogs up. They figure out a costume each year. That way they can all be incorporated in the costumes. And it's super, super, super cute. I love it. I don't know if my dog here, her name is Minnie, if Minnie would be willing to wear a costume. Alright, so I'm going to say F is the small one. Okay, so I'm gonna take F, and I've outlined my grid, and I've outlined the tree as best I could. Now I'm gonna take F, and I'm just going to go over those circles as best I can. I'm gonna go through the tree again. It doesn't matter. It's going to be colored in black in a minute anyways. So we're just gonna redo those circles as best we can. If it overlaps funky, it's perfectly fine. You'll barely notice, I promise. And some of my circles are different sizes, which is quite entertaining, honestly. But that's okay. We'll just do it. Okay. So that'll work for that one. Right. So my circles and my tree, now it looks really funky because all you see are just circles. So I'm going to take, this is my biggest pen. This is my biggest pen that I have. I'm going to use this to go over the grid on the outside. So this pen's awesome because it's almost like a brush pen, and it really does help with covering larger areas. And I kind of like it because it's the same ink, so once it's down, you really can't tell. So I'm just going to go over this grid first. Then I'm going to erase the pencil on the tree part, and then I'll do the pen on there, just because I want to make sure I remove that pencil before we do watercolors, and it'll be too hard if the thick amount of pen is down before it's dry. Because then you'll just go to erase and then you'll smudge the pen. It's not fun. Remember guys, you could do this part with Sharpies. I don't really recommend a ballpoint pen, but you could do this with a Sharpie. You could probably do a ballpoint pen if you did it at the very, very end once everything is dry. That's the key, wait for it to be dry. Who else is watching? I see there's 2 people. Who else is watching? Alright guys, I'm just going to keep doing my not my background, I'm sorry, my little grid that I've got here. I kind of framed this artwork, I didn't realize until just now. Yes, I'm just going to keep using this pen. I believe when I did the I keep calling it a pre-painting, but when I did the pre-picture, oh, hi Dylan's mom, that when I did the pre-picture, that's the photo for online for this piece, that I had to use a small, like one of the regular pens to do the outline, and that took forever. I think it took me like 45 minutes practically coloring the trees because it took so long. Just working our way around. If you guys don't know, if you tell me you're watching, I give you shout-outs. Right. Let's keep going around. So tell me guys, anyone have a favorite artist that they like, that inspires them, or that they tend to emulate in their artwork? Let me know. I'm not sure if I really have anyone specific, like what I do, I guess, for work, for the hospital is a bit different than what I normally do, but I like to paint instruments, mainly guitars and violins, things like that, of the string family, I guess you could say. And those are really fun, take forever to do. Alright. So I'm super excited. So for the hospital guys, for Halloween. I will be there Friday, the day before Halloween, and we'll be doing a media show for/with Child Life, and we're gonna do this really cool fall inspired piece, and I'm super excited to do it. It's gonna be uber fun. I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun little project. So this piece I kind of like because it's not really hard to do. It's got like some elements that take forever, like this part. But that's okay. Sometimes we need things that just challenge our patience and make us sit and enjoy and just be immersed in what we're doing. Let's see here. Okay, that's better. Alright, so my outline is done. Now I'm just going to take my eraser real quick and erase the tree and circle lines for the pencil first. I'm just going to work my way down with the squares. That might make it easier. So when I did the practice piece, I guess, when I was coloring in the tree, there were a few spots where I accidentally started coloring in where the circle was because I didn't see it correctly. So hopefully we don't mess up today. But again, if you do, that is okay. Nothing wrong with that. Right. Just working our way down, erasing. So if you are logging on now, guys, just to do the piece with me, all you need is paper, a pencil, drawing pens, or a Sharpie, and watercolors. So what we did first was draw an edge here with a ruler. You could use a ruler with a ruler, and then made the squares, created our tree, and then drew in the circles because we're doing a Kandinsky inspired piece. And it is slightly creepy with a creepy tree. Yeah, I'm excited for Halloween. I cannot wait. I always love dressing up. Dressing up was my favorite. Trick-or-treating was hands down my favorite thing. In my family, my dad used to make it a sport. We would have like the really cute little bags, but then when we'd actually go trick-or-treating, we'd be using pillowcases and going around our neighborhood, my aunt's neighborhood, and just going and getting like as much candy as possible. But then as a kid, like my parents were like really worried with like our teeth and whatnot, so we were able to only have about like a few pieces of candy from what we trick-or-treated from, and then everything else would go to my dad's work. Don't be freaked out though, because pretty much we would be able to pick our favorite candies from the store and then just have that to eat at home. But we weren't hugely into eating like that much candy. That's a lot of candy. But I don't know, I'm more into like cakes and cookies more so than chocolate. I do like chocolate, but more so than like a candy bar or something super, super sugary like that. That's not really my thing. Okay guys, so we're going to take our pen here again and we're just going to use this to color in our tree. I'm going to try to do all my branches first because the branches are the hardest part. It's what takes the longest to do because we can't just like sit there and fully scribble color. We have to make sure we kind of stay in the lines a little bit. I just remember some of my favorite costumes for growing up as a kid. I remember being a black cat like one year when I was like 6. That was awesome. My favorite costume, hands down, has probably been a couple years ago. Actually, I made a Minion costume, and that was fantastic. For one, I was super comfortable. I literally just wore Converse, and I bought overalls and some felt, a yellow t-shirt and a yellow hat, and I used the felt to make the Guru logo, and I sewed it on, and that was an awesome costume. It was super easy, super simple, nothing fancy. Last year, actually, I went a little bit hardcore for me, and I made Moana, so that was kind of fun. If anyone has any pictures, feel free to post it. They're probably somewhere. But yeah, I love Halloween. Halloween's one of my favorite times of year. And like, I'm from South Florida, so it's never really cold or coolish. It's always just hot. So being here in Jacksonville, this has been kind of fun because you actually get weather change here, and it's really nice. It's very enjoyable. Guys, just working on my branches. So this part, guys, might hurt your hands a little bit just because it's a lot to color in. Remember, this part hurt my hands when I was doing it. Alright guys, don't forget to send pictures of your artwork if you do the Facebook Live piece, whether it's live, you're doing it live, or you're doing it later on watching the saved video. Go for it. I'd love to see your guys' pieces. Feel free to post pictures. Alright. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, friends. So, if anyone has any really fun Halloween memories, feel free to post. Any really fun, if you did anything really scary once. I know one year I did Halloween Horror Nights. I don't quite like that. That's not my fave. Color in the sun. I feel like I should have had like spooky music playing in the background. That would have been entertaining. Let's see here. Alright. Okay, friends, this one is looking really, really good. It's just gonna take forever. Alright. Let's just add an extra branch, like here. Sorry, I was just like, it needs an extra branch there. Okay. We're just going to keep coloring this in, guys. This is the part that took forever, and I'm sorry. Sometimes art is pain, you never know. But yeah, creepy trees and all, you know. Okay. I'm just going to keep working my way around with my pen here. And hopefully I don't miss any spots. That would be unfortunate. So it's always fun when you get into some spots where you can kind of just actually color it in. That part's nice because you're getting to like the bigger areas where it's easier to fill versus those little tiny branches that you have to fully concentrate on how you're coloring it in. Right, so back up to our branches. Okay, sorry guys, sometimes I zone out when I'm working and I'm concentrating. This one definitely has that potential to do that to me. So if I just stop talking, sorry. Let's just keep working on this tree. It'll be done soon enough. Hopefully the worst part would be like if my pen died. That would be really bad. Because I don't have another one of these kind of that make it go back quicker. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. If you think the tree looks cool, if it's creepy enough. Creepy trees are where it's at today. Right. Rotate this just a bit so I can see a little better. Lots of tree. Lots and lots of tree. Color in the second part in. There. Try to make sure I can see my branches. Sometimes I can't see that far. That's most of the time I'm really nearsighted. Alright. Okay, now, last branch. Thank goodness. This is really funny, guys. Sorry, I'm watching myself from the Facebook Live and my face keeps popping in and out. Okay, start there. Okay. Okay, finally, nearly there. The last branch. So it would be kind of cool too, guys, if you were, I was thinking of this the other day, you could take like black construction paper and draw out your tree and then cut your tree out So then when you're done, you just glue the tree down. That would be one way of doing the tree. That way you're not stuck coloring this the entire time. Tell me guys, if you're watching this, what is your favorite thing about Halloween? Is it the food? Is it candy? Do you get to go to like really fun little Halloween parties? Be safe if you're doing that this year. Go on to the trunk. This part should only take like a minute or two. After this, we get to break out our watercolors, and I'm so excited. I got a different watercolor set, and I'm liking the vibrancy of the colors on this one a lot better than what I was using before. The one before, just like the yellow wasn't quite yellow. Orange looked a little weird. But not anymore. Right. Almost done with the tree, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. This part takes forever. Okay. Nearly there. Ooh, so if you guys have not seen our schedule yet for Facebook Live pieces, so I know Matt is doing some awesome like technical watercolors. So if you were really wanting to like learn how to do something with watercolors, Matt's videos would be awesome. I know Brooke is doing these really cool leaf, I think it's leaf and watercolors, and I can't tell if it's crayon or pastels that she's using as like an outline for them, but I'm super excited. Those are going to be really fun to watch. Highly recommend it. If you guys haven't noticed, we all have like our own take of what we do for Facebook Live. We pretty much do whatever we are feeling, honestly, for the most part, but keep it to what we think that you guys would like to do. If you have any ideas for what you might want to see for next month's Facebook Live, definitely send us some notes. We'd love to hear that. Alright guys, thank you for bearing with me. Our tree is finally done. I'm going to put my pens away before I lose them, because I very much could totally lose them. I don't know what that happens. So let's put these away. So these can go over here. Take a sip of my drink real quick. Okay, now for the fun part, the watercolors. Everyone loves this part. There. Open. I'm going to rotate for you. Okay, so first things first, I think I'm going to go through each one and do the outside part of the square first. So let's start with, I'm going to do some red. That's always good. Let's go with some red. So I'm going to do red down here first. I'm just giving it a nice light red wash. I'm going to try to keep this within its own square. Because that's the only thing. If I don't really want this to go into another square, I just want this to stay in its own square. almost done. Let's do a blue. So we do blue in this little square here that you can barely see its circle. Okay, and then let's do orange. Just for the fun of it. And I'm going to pull in a little bit of that blue into my orange, but that's okay. Alright. Orange is done. Let's go in some yellow. I'm going to put up top here where that red is. So this piece isn't really technical, which is kind of nice. You kind of just do it. Sometimes that's just my favorite way of doing things. Just kind of go for it. So we're going to do green. And then we're going to do some purple in that last one. So the thing that's really good with these drawing pens is that drawing pens, you can literally just do the over it and it doesn't matter, which is wonderful. Because if I had to sit here and try to be like, not go touch on those branches or try not to touch the tree, that would honestly take forever. So I don't recommend that. Okay, so next I've used the main 6 primary colors right here: orange, yellow, red, blue, green. And now I'm just going to rotate these colors. I'm going to use them again on these top parts, but I'm going to rotate some. So let's do red first. Red's going to go in the middle. Orange. Right. A little more orange. Let's try that color there. Alright, orange and then blue. Hiccups, don't mind me, guys. Alright. Looks good. And let's do some yellow. Let's do yellow. Right. So yellow's down. Let's do green. Over here. Last but not least, purple. So when you guys do this part, you don't have to do this in the exact same colors I'm doing it. Mine doesn't even match what I did first, which is okay. It's just about fun, enjoying what you're doing. Someone's texting me. Okay. So now that we've got our squares done, now it's to work in our circles. I'm gonna do the outside part of each circle first, and then go from there. So I'm going to take yellow. I'm going to do this little sliver of that in there because that's basically already done. Let's do some green. Let's do this green outside edge first. So I'm not really trying to make it a perfect circle. Just trying to make sure that it's got enough room for 2 other colors. So that's the main part. Let's do some purple. We need some more color. Righty. Purple. I think I'm going to finish these down 2 ones first and then go from there. So let's do some red in this one. So I'm okay with the colors blending a little bit. I feel like it gives it a creepier effect. Let's take some green. Green's done. And then I'm going to do some orange for the center of this one. And then do purple in the center of this one. So basically, this look here is how what we're going for our circles. I'm just going to keep working my way up. Let's do some orange for the center one, because we're not going to have any other colors. I want red for this one. Do some blue. If you want to get fancy, guys, you could totally make your own colors. Like you can make teals and whatnot, like with the watercolors. It's really not hard. I just did not want to get too complicated with the colors in this piece because we did a bit of drawing and that took a decent amount of time to do the tree. And even just to start this piece, just to map it out how we wanted to do it. That took some time. So, get a line green out of that. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to take this yellow. This is going to be my middle color for this circle. It might turn orange, so I'm picking up a lot of red. And then what are we gonna do in this one? Let's do some purple with this one. And then I want an orange center. do a green center for this one. Might as well. Alright guys, we are doing really good on these. We've got 6 more circles to do, so this is at a point now where you will either do one of 2 things. You can either copy your colors exactly the same way as you have it here for these 2 rows, or you can try doing something completely differently. I'm gonna try to do something differently. It'll take a little bit longer, but that's okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna do blue on this one. Blue, do orange, this one, and then let's go with red. Green. And then I want to do yellow for the inside of that one. Let's do some purple. Do this one. Let's do purple. Purple's always fun. I like purple. Okay. Purple. Purple. Let's do some blue. I might be getting a teal here. Just a bit of a teal. Alright guys, last one this is nearly it. Let's push that back. Let's go with a fun bright yellow circle since I haven't had one yet. What's the funniest Halloween costume I've ever seen? I kind of really like those, the really like very like simple ones that someone literally just like took paper and like stapled it or something to their front. Like I find those absolutely hilarious. But I saw something that it was like a kid did it, and it was really one of those like you had to look at his costume and just like think, and like once it hit you, it was like hilarious. And it was like a little kid who came up with this one. Like I remember asking his parents, and his mom was just like, yeah, no, he just don't know where that one came from, but he was like, I have to do this, and it was great. Like it really was. But let's see. I'm trying to think. I remember as a kid, like my least favorite Halloween costume was that I was a pumpkin. I was a pumpkin one year, and it was like this super squishy material, but the inside part where it was like the dimple to the pumpkin, that inside material where they sewed it in like that, it was so uncomfortable. I remember my aunt had to take felt and she like sewed the entire inside part of it with felt because of how itchy it was. And I was like 4 or 5 wearing this costume, and it was just like this like big like plucky pumpkin, and it was so uncomfortable, guys. Ugh, I just remember like being like, oh my god, I don't want to wear this, like when I had to wear it. Probably hands down my favorite costume as a kid. Like, and I was 5 or 6 wearing this one to school. And I love the movie Hercules, and I was Meg from Hercules. That's probably hands down one of my favorite costumes that I've ever worn. I actually have a picture of it because my mom went through all of her old pictures and gave us some recently, like last weekend recently, and I just saw it, and it was so many memories, such a good picture, such a good night. I love Halloween. Halloween's like hands down like my favorite thing. It really is. I love dressing up in costumes. Let's see, guys, we're nearly there. This is it. We are at the home stretch. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this weird one. Let's do. I'm gonna do some green in this one. Oh. And then let's do. I'm gonna do green for the inside part of this one. And then what are we gonna do on that last one? That last one, I want something really bright, but fun bright. Let's do something up. Yellow's always a good color to end with, right? Dribbling water everywhere. All right, guys. So this is the final piece. So I don't know if you can, how well you can see it in the video, but I can see where I painted over the tree with my circles because I wasn't gonna worry about trying to keep it within the lines. Oh, I missed one. Never mind. Hold on. I missed one. Backtrack. Let's do orange. Hold on. Sorry, I missed one. I just realized. Okay. Now we're done. So I can see where I painted over, like here especially. I can see where I painted over the pen, but honestly it's not bad. It's not like it's like, oh my god, it's unseemly. You can still see it a little bit, but that is okay. But alright guys, that is it for me today. This was a fun one. I'm glad I started on time / early, I guess, because this would have taken a really long time to do. If you are doing this one, guys, take time with yourself for that tree. The tree is what takes forever. Don't lose hope. You will finish it eventually, I promise. Sorry, I like to clean my watercolor palette when I'm done with it. But yeah, guys, send pictures. I can't wait to see this one. Please send me pictures. Send them to the Facebook. I love them. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And send some pictures, guys. We love to see the artwork that you do. Send even ones that we've already done before, ones that you decided to redo, ones from your first ones that you were really shy about sending in the pictures. We love to see your guys' artwork, okay? So don't be shy. Send in those pieces, okay? You all have a great rest of your day. I can't wait to see your images. Ask any questions, guys. We will be here. We can answer. We can always respond. All right. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.